Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another My Week in Perfume. There's been a legendary week. There's been a lot of what I would consider to be must samples for you guys if you haven't smelled them that I've wore this week in this video. Some great, just some, just some all timers I wore this week. So let's get right into it. I just put out a video regarding my opinion on colognes, so if you haven't seen that, go check the channel. Also, I did a review on Louis Vuitton Imagination, which I know is such a popular fragrance. Lots of good stuff coming out on the channel. So if you enjoy, be sure to like, sub, hype, comment, all that stuff. Let me know your scent of the day in the comments as well. All right. So on Monday, Monday last week, I wore Amouage Gold Man. Amouage Gold Man. This is this is particular, okay? This is a legendary scent sort of in its own right. This was, I believe, the first ever Amouage fragrance in 1983 by Guy Robert. Um yeah, this is very particular. This fragrance is old school, very old school, and kind of really daring. This is a musky, soapy, slightly civetty animalic, sort of just clean but not clean kind of smell. It's quite strong, but I've seen people talk about this being like a lethal room filler. And my bottle is one of the newer bottles. If you for batch code enjoyers, maybe you guys can pause the video. There we go. I don't know if the newer bottles are all that. Apparently the old bottles are way more pissy, way more animalic, way stronger. And that kind of interests me because this bottle, while I really do like it, um, it isn't as strong as I thought it would be. Or maybe it's deceptively strong and I'm going nose blind. But the vibe of this is elegance. Just pure elegance. It's soapy, it's clean. You get that like frankincense-y, resinous feel. And then of course the big note in here, there's some animalics. There's that civet that will probably put a lot of people off. Um, Very particular fragrance. On Tuesday, I wore another legendary fragrance, a Fragcom Darling. This is Portrait of a Lady by Frederic Malle. Another thing, batch code here for you guys that are interested, the A24 there. Um, Guys, Rich Mitch, if you don't know who he is, I'll link him in the description, but legendary perfume YouTuber. He said he got some really bad intel regarding a potential catastrophic reformulation for Portrait of a Lady, the new 2026 bottles. So if this is one of your favorite perfumes, I gotta put the information out there. Don't freak out, but if you love this and it's one of your all-time favorites and you can't go without it, it might not be a bad idea to back it up. But what is this fragrance? So, Portrait of a Lady is another big strong fragrance. This is rose and patchouli and incense, and it's spicy and sort of ambery. Um yeah, it has this beautiful dark red velvety rose with this earthy green patchouli that's slightly um yeah, it's slightly musty, just a little bit. It has that patchouli sort of edge, but it's so well balanced. The incense helps fill all the gaps in. It's spicy. It's very very loud. Even in my bottle, I mean, I think this is a 2024 bottle. Um, I've never owned a previous version of it, but people talk about vintage Portrait of a Lady like it is just a monstrous beast. And this, I have no longevity problems with it. It's great. That's Portrait of a Lady, big rose patchouli. It's beautiful. Next up is, I mean, shout out Mo from the channel Sense for Thoughts. He put me on this. This is phenomenal. And on Wednesday, I wore Roja Dove Scandal Parfum pour Homme. Okay, this is the Parfum version. There is another one that is not the Parfum. You want the one with the gold plaque like this. Okay, this is just poetry. This is perfection. This is fougere royalty, okay? If you want a dad scent, you really can't do better than this. I mean, it's expensive, but it is worth it. So, what is this? It's a fougere, but it's such a particular fougere. It's got this beautiful. It has the Roja citruses up top, so they're really effervescent and airy with a lot of lift. They're very rounded. It has this round citrusy feel up top. Then you get the lavender and the oak moss. It's just an amazing, really textured fragrance to me. Um, I'm still getting to know it, but it's one of the it's super airy. That's what's really unique about it, at least to me. You think it's gone, and then you get a whiff of it, and then oh, the wind. You might be outside, and the wind blows, and oh, there it is again. It just stays with you for the whole day. And it's really fresh too, so it's actually really impressive. So if you're looking for a fresher, sort of more mature smell, definitely try Roja Dove Scandal Parfum pour Homme. Okay. All right, moving on. On what was that? Wednesday. On Thursday, I wore Ormonde Jayne, Nawab of Oudh Intensivo. First of all, the bottles are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this is a brick. This is an absolute brick, and it looks like it's made out of like a solid piece of crystal. Very impressive. This is a very, very difficult fragrance for me to describe. This is a very unique smell. I've never smelled anything close to this. So the name Nawab of Oud. This is an oud fragrance, but not really. It is, but it isn't. Okay, so when people hear oud, they get scared. And I understand because some of the ouds out there are not for me. I get it. Like, I don't want to smell like a decaying corpse. I'm good. Okay. I don't want to smell like a complete barnyard. But this is not that type of oud. This is very particular. It's got this in the opening, you get a very particular pimento note. So it's this red hot spicy thing. And then there's a green sort of edge to it, this green almost leafy thing. And then you get the florals. And for me, this is like a spicy green rose oud. The rose and the florals in here are very they're well tailored. It's not like it's a in your face rose or an in your face. I think there's magnolia in here as well. It's all very well blended and sort of disguised. It's hard to pick out notes, and the oud just gives it this very very slight. I'm talking about like 2% sort of funky woody edge to it that's still identifiable as oud once you smell it enough. Okay. So yeah, this is one I find very difficult to describe. In terms of other things about it, it's once again very airy. This is what Ormond Jane does very well. They do these airy, elegant things super well. Um, it definitely has a lot of ISOE super. So ISOE super is like a woody sort of smelling compound. Uh, you can go nose blind to this, but I smell this the entire time. Um, it does have this constant woody sort of synthetic, but kind of like in a good way vibe throughout the entire wear experience. That's Ormond Jane Nawab of Oud Intensivo. Lasts a long time as well. All right, moving on to Friday. Friday, I wore a legend. Okay, this is a if they discontinue this or Francis fucking Kirkjohn at Dior destroys this or discontinues it, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, this is Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum. See that dent? Okay, it's a serious dent. My dent. You can tell I love this. This is the 2017 version. So it first came out in 2012. That version had myrrh and it was darker and it had a black label. So if you look at the silver label in the front, the 2012 was different. It was black. The 2017, they took out the myrrh and they put in elemi resin. So this smells, once again, this is kind of like a dad fragrance, really great work fragrance, and it's not that expensive. You can find this stuff for not a really good deal. Um, this takes Eau Sauvage and it just makes it super dense, super compact and dense and rich. And the elemi resin has this lemony, resinous, thick quality to it. There's beautiful lavender in here. There's some vetiver giving it that like earthy green sort of feel. And then the top, there's beautiful citruses. Amazing perfume. One of my absolute favorites from Dior. Saturday, so yesterday, I wore another Amouage. This time it is Amouage Reflection 45. How's that for a bottle? I just wanted to show some interesting things for people that are really into Amouage and like nerds like me. First of all, the newer bottles will come with a cap or a crown inside of the cap. See that? And then actually, I think my bottle, yes, my bottle is a J batch of Reflection 45. So a very, very recent bottle. Um, I used to own another bottle. These two smell the exact same, so there's no difference between the older stuff and the newer stuff. I know some people get paranoid with formulations. You don't have to worry about that here. But Reflection 45, this is another one that's hard for me to pin down. So it takes the original, and for those of you that don't know, there's two versions of Reflection. So the original is Reflection Man. This is Reflection 45 Man from the Exceptional Extracts collection. And the 45 in the name literally means this perfume, this fragrance has 45% perfume oil. Okay? It is dense, it is thick, it's rich, it's textured. It lasts a long time, especially compared to the original. The original is a little too sweet for me. It's this really beautiful sort of woody, jasmine-y, masculine floral thing, but it's just a little too sweet. This takes the sweetness down and it shoots the longevity way up, but it also sort of reels in the projection a little bit. In terms of the smell, this comes off as more herbal to me. I get this really beautiful lavender orris sort of herbal nature. Orris root is really smooth and buttery. You get the jasmine. Yeah, and it's just like this cloud of really thick, dense florals and herbaceousness. It's a little powdery, not too much though. It's fair. I would say it's like 10%. You have that 10% powdery of maybe something like Prada L'Homme or something along those lines. Um, this would make for a killer all year scent. You can wear this in any situation. Comes off as just incredibly elegant. And for those of you that are worried about a scent that's like too strong, like you don't want to choke people out, even though that's 45% perfume oil, the way it behaves is it sits close to the skin. It really doesn't project that far off of you. So yeah, amazing scent. You can wear that for really anything. And what I wore today, this is a crazy fragrance. Um, this is Serge Lutens Tubereuse Criminelle. This bottle's funny. It actually says Serge Iutens. This is a misprint, which is why I got this for a really good deal. Um, I mean, Tuberose Criminelle, as you've probably deduced by now, the name literally translates to criminal tuberose. Tuberose is a note that is a real killer for a lot of people. I don't like tuberose at all. However, Tuberose Criminelle is the only exception for me. Okay. This is a crazy fragrance. I mean, just a very strange, sort of like alien floral. This is really mentholated and minty and green and herbaceous, and you get the creamy headiness of the tuberose combined with this sort of almost, those mints that you would carry around in like, like your pocket. It has that sort of feel. It's like this minty, candied mint sort of feel with the headiness of the florals. It's a very strange smell. But it is so Serge Lutens in the way that it is. I would wear that during like Halloween. It's that sort of. It comes off like that sort of way. Very very unique, very particular, and I have the Grazielle presentation. So these are these huge skyscraper bottles. Um, Unfortunately, I don't even think you can get this in the United States anymore. I think Serge Lutens, first of all, they pulled out of the United States. They don't distribute here anymore. Secondly, I don't think they offer this even on the website anymore. You can't even buy this from them. So I don't really know what's going on in this fragrance. Maybe it's available as a boutique exclusive in Europe. I'm not sure, but if you're a big fan of tuberose and you've never smelled Tubereuse Criminelle, uh, definitely try to get your nose on it because there are still a few bottles floating around, on the gray market. But if you're interested, maybe be a little fast on that trigger pull there. So that's my week in perfume. Wore a lot of great ones today. Really enjoyed this week. Some videos that are coming up on the channel. God, gonna talk about a couple things that are on the way. I recently just got a unicorn. I don't want to spoil it, but Daniel, if you're watching this video, I reinstalled eBay. Okay, and only Daniel's gonna understand that. But I have a unicorn, an unobtainable fragrance that I have somehow obtained. We're gonna do an unboxing and first impression on that. It's gonna be really special. It's probably gonna be one of the most special videos I do on the channel in general. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I also wanted to thank you guys for just watching all the videos. Guys, this channel is already monetized, which isn't really a big deal for me because I'm not doing this to like make money, but that's really awesome to see that level of support. You do need a really good deal of support on YouTube channels in order to monetize them, especially in like long form. So thank you guys so much for all the support. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button, hit the sub button. Let me know what you wore today as your scent of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.